Every Christmas, it feels like there's so much pressure. The pressure to make the tree look perfect, the pressure to bake all the cookies just right, the pressure to find gifts that your kids will never forget. But here's the truth. The tree doesn't have to be perfect. The cookies can burn, and honestly, the gifts will be forgotten by next year. Because the greatest gift you can give your kids this Christmas isn't any of those things. It's Jesus. Hey, if we haven't met, I'm Kim with Not Consumed Ministries. We help families grow in faith so they can live not consumed by life. Today, I want to share 3 things that will help you point your kids to Jesus this Christmas. First, Jesus is greater than perfection. It's so easy to feel like you're falling short at Christmas. Maybe you didn't get the Christmas cards out. If I'm being honest, I haven't sent out cards in 13 years and I still feel guilty every year for not doing it. Why? Maybe it's not Christmas cards that steal your joy, but a budget that feels stretched too thin, or the pressure to participate in all of the things this time of the year to create the perfect experience for your kids. Here's the truth. Jesus is greater than perfection. Honestly, our family Christmases have never been Pinterest perfect, and I would have it no other way. We always have mismatched stockings, and plenty of times the cookies have burned, or food hasn't been just right, or the ornaments didn't look great on Instagram. I can promise you this. It's easy to look back now and tell you that those imperfections are not what my kids ever remembered or cared about. And that's not what you think about from your childhood either, is it? What matters is that we laugh together, we're present, and that it's all about Jesus. Can I tell you a secret? Kids learn more about how you handle imperfection than from anything that looks polished anyway. Don't be the mom who apologizes when there isn't enough money or when you feel like you didn't do enough. When you choose joy, grace, and faith in the middle of the messy moments, that is how you truly show your kids that Jesus is greater. Christmas has never been about looking perfect. Jesus was born in a manger. His humble beginning was meant to help us stay focused on what really matters. It's not the tinsel and the lights. It's about remembering the one who's perfect. The second truth you need to know is that there's only one gift that lasts. Every tradition we build, wrapping presents, driving to see lights, sipping hot cocoa, these things are really fun, but they fade. Think about it. Toys break, batteries die, sweaters get outgrown. Even the traditions we hold dear will eventually change as the kids move out and have families of their own. But what doesn't change? Jesus. John 3:16 says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life." That's the gift that lasts. That's the legacy we want our kids to remember. That in the middle of a season full of shiny distractions, Jesus is the one thing that never fades. After more than 20 Christmases growing up at home, I can only remember one single gift I ever received. Just one. Isn't that so strange? How about you? I can tell you that as a parent, I have spent far too much of my life stressing over gifts, knowing that 25 years later, my kids might only remember one. What I do remember are the things that mattered. Baking goodies to take our Sunday school teachers, decorating the tree as a family, reading Luke 2 together, and being part of the Christmas pageant at church. These memories lasted because they weren't about stuff. They were about faith, family, serving others, and yes, Jesus. If your kids grow up remembering that Christmas is about him, you've given them the best gift of all. So don't stress about the rest. All right, the third truth you need to know is that simple faithfulness is key. Now, maybe you're wondering, okay, but how do I actually make sure my kids really see Jesus at Christmas? Here's the good news. You don't have to do everything. You don't need a theology degree, and you don't have to create Pinterest perfect moments. Yay! Some of the sweetest traditions are the simplest. For years, we've always made a birthday cake for Jesus. We stick a candle in a cake, sing happy birthday, and yes, eat cake for breakfast. Now, there were some years when life was so busy that I didn't make a cake. Some years it was a pile of cookies that were left over. Other years, donuts, or any treat that I could grab. But you know what? It didn't really matter because the point wasn't the cake. It was the celebration of Jesus. That's the power of simple faithfulness. You don't have to do everything perfectly. You just have to keep pointing your kids back to him. The tree doesn't have to be perfect. The cookies can burn. The stockings can be mismatched. I'm just going to keep repeating that so we get the point together, right? If your kids learn to see Jesus as the center of Christmas, you've given them the best gift of all. Now, if you'd like some help doing that, this is exactly why we created Gifts at the Manger. It's a family Bible study that walks through 25 meaningful gifts of Christmas. Along the way, you'll see gifts that were given to Jesus, gifts that show what God has given to us, and finally, gifts that help your family think about what you can give back to him this Christmas. Kids ages 8 and up can study on their own while you read aloud to the younger children. Then you come back together as a family to talk about what God is teaching you. It's simple, flexible, and a beautiful way to keep Jesus at the center of your Christmas. You don't need perfection. You just need to keep pointing your kids to Him. I'm going to drop a link to this study in the comments for you to pick it up today. Leave me a comment and let me know which one of these 3 truths you really needed to hear most today. Jesus is greater. There's only one gift that truly lasts. Or simple faithfulness is what makes the difference. I pray this was encouraging to you today. If this video was a blessing to you, would you please consider subscribing? It helps our channel a lot and helps us get the word out to more families like you. If you're looking for more devotional tips or ways to get your kids into God's Word, I'll put that video up on the screen now. Until then, I'll see you next time.